won't
Long.
hit the button.
I did hit the button.
You won't hit the button.
I did hit the button.
No balls, you didn't.
I did. Hello, everyone. Welcome in.
Oh,
to session 20 already.
that looks interesting.
Crazy as it sounds. Oh, I will fix that in a minute. But last time, you all arrived in the Feywild, split into two groups. It took you all about 20 minutes to get reconvened and together again, fighting some Fey Stalkers that had ambushed Cyrus and Demi's group. You ventured further in. At the guidance of Demi for arriving, or rather, the house and courtyard arriving to you all in the Feywild. After a very tense conversation about what the deal had done to Demi, and some other feelers for offers put out by the Fate Stitcher Morrigan, Demi completed a new deal with the Hag, pulling an alternate version of herself into the Feywild in front of you all. It was in the intervening moments afterward that you heard a loud, booming voice and the wings of a dragon flying overhead asking where she was. The Fate Stitcher, not wanting to bring you into this combat, opened up a portal for you all that you went through. And to correct my saying from last week, you all saw the spires of the Platinum Sanctuary and the mountain called the Heaven Stair beyond, about 3/4 of a day's trek from you all, meaning you are all on a Silra near Vasselheim. As you all get your wits about you here in this moment, I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh boy. Ooh. 17.
Cool.
That's a wisdom save. That's a 19.
Okay.
I got a 5.
Excellent.
17.
Okay.
I got a straight 18.
Straight 18. Let us roll for Cade. That's a 23.
I was gonna say, I hope he makes this.
And Luca got a 3.
Oh, shit.
I know they're not here, but this is kind of funny. For Cyrus and Luca, you all stepped through a portal in Zephyra, and on the other side was Vasselheim.
No.
You have no knowledge of what just happened.
Oh my god, no.
That's
Oh no.
No. Oh my god.
Huh. Why is it so cold? Thought we were supposed to be in the Feywild.
What? We just Left?
We-
What do you mean?
We
Yeah, we just left. And we were supposed to be
Well-
going to the Feywild.
no.
Well, you
we,
see,
we
Cyrus,
left
we're
the
approaching
Feywild.
Vasselheim.
Wait. Vassal... Why are we in Vasselheim?
We just.
Well, this
left
is
the
where I'm
Feywild.
from.
We were...
You recognize this person as Demi, but they look younger and more scholarly and different. It is a shock to you in this
Oh.
moment.
You see Demi now wearing blue robes. I don't know if you know what order wears blue robes, but and she has like darker hair now too.
I might know what order wears blue robes. Up to Rai.
Above game, I totally forgot which one wore blue robes in Vasselheim.
Chrome.
Oh, so
Oh, Cobalt Soul, yeah.
I think Cyrus
they
would be
would.
familiar. Yeah.
They have libraries on the Menagerie Coast in pretty much every city. You would be aware of the Cobalt Soul.
Well, yeah, and just from his upbringing,
Yeah,
I think.
as well too. Yeah,
A scholarly background
yeah, totally.
in Iman, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
he'd be aware.
Yeah.
Ah. Ah. Well, I just know we left Taldore and we came here, and now Demi looks like where'd she find Cobalt Soul robes? And would someone please explain to me what's happening?
sir, I just met you about, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, and we had this very like warming interaction where I told you I was going to help you find why your friend made the choice that she made. You don't remember any of this?
Oh shit.
I was
When
gonna look over it.
Cyrus hears Demi tell him that she met him 20 minutes ago, he looks absolutely crestfallen.
Okay.
And he
My
probably
friend-
needs to sit down.
Sit, friend. There are things that need to be reviewed, it seems, because now we have more memory tampering that has gone on. Going in, you knew that...
Memory tampering?
Yes, you know the Feywild tends to do strange things. It seems it has
Yeah,
taken
but
your
we
memory of what
haven't
happened
been there yet.
We have. It has taken the memory of what happened there from you, it seems.
Are you shitting me?
Unfortunately not. We went to the Feywild, and to summarize things quite condensedly, Demi, the original deal that she had made didn't work the way that she had hoped, and she made a new deal that undid quite a lot of her personal history. So now
Did we save
have
her daughter?
this Demi,
I think he would
I had
burn
a
out
daughter?
because he doesn't
Cyrus,
know.
Cyrus,
doesn't know what-
Please,
no,
not
hang
another
on.
word. No, I
No,
know.
hang-
This is in
Yeah, yeah,
character. In character
think
response. Yeah.
Like, did we save her daughter?
Cyrus, please,
At
not
least-
I
another.
had a daughter?
Please, not another word for now. Of that.
I don't understand. Did we save her or not?
In a
I've never
manner
had
of
a daughter.
speaking, yes, but do not burden this Demi with the history of the Demi that we knew, please. That would go against the wishes that she had in those final moments before changing her history.
Well, now none of this makes sense. If I had a daughter and all of you seem to be my family, why would I give all that up? There's something else
Because-
going on here. There has to be another reason that I gave up all that memory. You guys just don't know it yet.
Okay, I know some, but I also know that it would not do you good to know all of it. The other you wished to change
Well,
things for a
Sir, you
reason.
don't know me, but I like to know everything, okay? That's what I spent my whole life studying. Everything I could.
I understand that. I've studied a great deal as well. I can understand that drive, but the you that we knew had endured much pain, and those dear to her had endured much pain, and she made a great sacrifice of her memory and stuff to return to you, essentially, to prevent that pain. I don't think it would be very healthy for you to take all of that upon yourself again.
You do look
Demi
quite a
is gonna
bit.
turn. Oh, goes.
You do look quite a bit younger than you did last night.
Oh, I'm glad to see that. I can still keep up with the Joneses. Uh, Demi will turn to Finnick. I'm assuming his head's probably just poking out of his shell. He's not. Uh, it's cold. You, sir,
Yeah.
in the shell. You seem to be the wisest of the bunch. What do you make of all this?
Hey, me? Wise? Oh, he'll kind of like.
You're the only one
pat the
hiding
dwarf.
from the snow.
Huh. I don't know. It's all very, very new to me. Very different.
I may not remember exactly what happened in the Feywild, but Verdian's right. The Demi we knew was living with some pretty intense trauma. And we were going back to the Feywild to try to undo it. And I guess it seems like she somehow reverted herself back to you, back to like a younger version of herself. So she wouldn't have ever had to make some of those decisions.
Oh, how old do you think I look?
DM or Demi?
I would say Demi could answer.
How much
Um,
younger do you think you look then?
I mean, so above game, the last Demi, um, like came out like was like shunted like 15 years into the future, right? So like
Mhm.
she looked like decrepit with all of her like aging and like becoming a hag. This person in front of you seems like, when someone's had a lot of work done,
Mhm.
that's kind of more of what you're looking at. But like they still look youthful. It's just you can tell they've been nipped and tucked a few times maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how many years you are in her past. But
Well, none of that seems logical. I mean, if if I was your Demi and what I know about the Fate Stitcher, we're all on the same timeline, right? Like I have heard that the Feywild can make time a weird soup, but really it's more of we're all linear, right? Because time is moving with us. So I'm still the same Demi, I guess.
The
what's the
same.
before you went to the Feywild when you were like sucked into the Feywild, right? Before that, what's the last thing you remember?
And I'll point over towards Vasselheim and I said, I was in the library dictating scrolls and spells and getting everything ready. I mean, there's so much going on in the world right now. As you all know, you're with the resistance, right?
Yes.
We are. What year was it?
DM, I don't remember what year it was.
Right as I take a sip. Thanks.
You're-
Appreciate you.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
Oh, oops. I opened up the wrong document. It 8/13. Like the 22nd day of Mistithar.
So above game, to answer your question, like,
So the same year still.
Same year.
yeah.
So you weren't literally sucked out of the past and plopped here.
No.
Okay. That's helpful to know. Well, I suppose when we get there, you can ask around and see if anybody knows you.
Well, of course they know me. I'm a member of the Cobalt Soul. I mean, I'm the Order of Mages. I'm pretty high up, or at least I'm working my way to be that way, but they keep trying to keep me from casting my magic, and it's a lot to deal with, but they'll see that
Politics.
I'm
My
a
worry,
very strong
Demi, is I think you were plucked from an alternate timeline and placed here.
The question is how much of that timeline has merged with ours. Is it just you, or is it all of your experiences with others as well?
Well, I mean, I knew of all of you.
Right,
It seems
but
like
you
it
were one of
converged pretty well.
us before.
In our
So-
timeline, you were one of us. And you were very different. And that version of you decided to replace herself with you.
Well, if we want to learn, there's one very easy and obvious way to do so, and that's to continue on ahead and find out what happens when we get there.
I suppose we'll find out.
And besides, I would very much love to see your research work, if it is there and present.
I assure you it is.
Well, then delights await us.
Can Cade make a medicine check on Cyrus? Would you let him?
Sure.
Okay. That's a 9. He has no idea what's wrong with you in this moment. Kind of looks and it's like, yeah, everything's fine. Like, your eyes aren't, pupils aren't dilated.
I know.
No, like, head...
Yeah, how long's the journey to where we're going?
About 3/4 of a day.
I mean, are you all up for traveling right now? Do we need to take a little bit of a rest?
I'm up for traveling, and it's just a bit of a shock.
How cold is it?
It's like in the 40s.
Cold.
I'm gonna bundle up, but it's okay.
Finnick's not as tall as he was. A lot of him is inside of his shell, and he's like penguin walking kind of thing.
Oh, God.
I'm so glad you said penguin because that's what I was picturing in the moving and this stuff.
Well, that's as far as I think he could walk like that, being so far in its
Yeah.
shell.
Cragthor, do you have anything you want to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Alright.
I was just looking through everything I had prepared to see if I had something to warm up the turtle, and sadly I do not.
Me too.
There are some things I could do to warm up the turtle, but the turtle probably wouldn't appreciate them.
Sacred flame, sacred flame, sacred flame.
Well, I could
Yeah.
press
I don't even
right?
have that.
Yeah.
Prestidigitation should work. Yeah, you could warm
Yeah.
something that.
That's yeah, I could prestidigitate.
Worm
Yeah.
worm the turtle is that what the kids are calling it these days.
I just don't have prestidigitation, so I don't have something else that can do that.
Sure, they could light my lantern and then mage hand it in front of the turtle. So
Well, if
there's
you
at
had a
least
lantern, he could just
modest heat source.
probably
Sure.
stick it in his shell and hold onto it with his hands, and you'll just see smoke rising from out of his shell.
He just turns into an incense burner.
Wait, so Proto is hotboxing his own shell. That we're all on the same page of what's happening here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
keep warm? Well,
Good.
Does anybody smell patchouli?
This is great. Quality.
Quality D&D.
oh yeah.
Hotboxing turtles. Okay. Yeah, you all can head towards the city of Vasselheim. You guys catch a road in probably about 4 miles in. And where is it? I had the map and now I don't have it. Yes, I found it. I think I'm just going to save it and upload it because it doesn't really make... Oh, nice. It's a web file. I hate you so much, whoever uploaded this now. You guys are getting this version, sorry. Nothing good is the answer, I believe.
Oh.
You guys will arrive at the Dusk Meadow Gate.
I believe Dust is in chat.
Yes.
Sorry. I thought it...
There's a little bit of a line to get in. Probably have 4 groups in front of you. It doesn't take too long. Two guards standing there at the gate. State your business in Vasselheim, please.
DM, wouldn't I have like credentials?
Yeah.
I'll flash them.
So there with you.
They are.
And what's their business in Vasselheim?
They've been called by the Cobalt Soul.
Deception check.
I rolled a 16.
Nice.
For
A 16. No charisma here, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I attempt to assist?
Sure. How would you like to assist?
Kind of discreetly, without anybody seeing, I'll, on a piece of paper, magical tinkering to make something that looks like an official summons and just flash it that has the insignia.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
So I have a +7.
Yeah.
That's a natural 1. So I don't successfully give you advantage.
Is silvery
Oh.
barb? Oh wait, no wait. I don't need to use silvery barbs. I don't need to do anything that makes any magic noise. So
Yeah.
Cyrus, you go to write that note, right? And you go to hand it to him and you see his face kind of look at you like, no, that's not it at all. But then all of a sudden it's kind of like someone hit the rewind button on time and it's like, "No." And then you go to hand it to him again and you try to forge this document once more. So you'll re-roll your d20.
Damn. Okay.
Damn.
That's a 23.
Holy shit.
So that was a roll to try to give you advantage. If you wanna.
Yeah. If you want to shoot for higher.
Sure. It wasn't.
All right. 16 is still pretty good.
Alright. I didn't know there was summoning people, but I guess they don't tell us nothing. I guess.
I guess.
Alright.
And I'll just walk off.
What, 7 people?
Yes. I didn't remember. Above game, I forgot how many people were in our party because there's not all.
Yeah, it's
I was
7.
also like mentally counting.
Alright, Alright, just... Okay, welcome to Vasselheim. The Dawn City. Please respect our laws and rules and traditions, and welcome in.
Good to be here.
And they kind of get out of the way and let you go through, and before you're even past, they're like, hello, welcome to Vasselheim, what's your purpose for the next group that's coming up?
Odian gets up next to Demi and just whispers, "Thank you."
Cragdor's just gonna look over at Demi and be like, how the fuck did you just do that? What is this? Like, quietly.
She just kind of points to the emblem on her robes. And you'll see the emblem of the Cobalt Soul. Which I think, above game 2, I think Cragthor would probably know who they are given his order, right?
Yeah. Declared orders are aware of pretty much anybody who operates within the Wendalian Empire, including the Cobalt Soul.
Would Verdian be aware? I think.
That's actually a really good question.
Were they
I've-
around over 200 years ago?
That's what I was about to ask.
No, he should be.
Yeah, you would.
Okay.
They were founded in 546 PD.
Okay.
I don't think Finnick would know. Too shelter.
Yeah.
I don't think Finnick or Luca would.
No.
Cade definitely would.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they're not here, but Luca might, just because of their time at the academy.
In Rex and
Oh, that's
yeah.
true. Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I think Finnick would be the only one who doesn't have a passing knowledge of what the Cobalt Soul does.
That's a neat looking symbol. What's that?
Well, you see, the Cobalt Soul is dedicated to the preservation of knowledge. And our main goal is making sure that magic doesn't get into the wrong hands, as well as making sure people who are up to no good, some ne'er-do-wells, if you will never get their hands on the true knowledge that's meant for those that are destined for it. And she'll just continue to go on and on, sounding very arrogant about this knowledge.
Cragthor's just gonna cut her off at some point and be like, wait, I can't have that knowledge? What the fuck?
Well, what knowledge do you possess?
I mean, I want that knowledge.
She pulls out a notebook.
Can I have that? Just looking at the notebook. If not, I'll just steal it. It's okay.
I think
Well, this is a field journal, but I mean, if you need it, I don't believe in
I mean,
stealing.
I want all the secrets. I need them.
I think Cragthor here is kind of pushing back on the idea that knowledge belongs only to who it's destined for. And I have to say,
It belongs to everyone.
I agree with him there.
If you don't want to share your knowledge, that's fine, but I'm not going to share my guns then.
You have guns.
Yeah, but you're not getting them.
Well, you have one now, largely because I helped build it.
Don't tell her you built it.
Listen, we have bigger things at stake, okay? The world is ending.
Yes.
Like
We have no time for
knowledge
this
that I want.
trivia to end the world.
Well, I don't think any in our group would use a gun quite as well as you might end up putting it to use, Cragthor. I think that within our little group at least, knowledge, guns, whatever weapons we have, we should not be stingy with.
It's mine.
Of course.
That's just Cragthor being like, no, I have this, it's mine, I'm not sharing it kind of mentality. Just so you see, like, a little bit more of who he is.
Oh my god.
Because, Demi, you haven't really dealt with him in this new form, we'll say. If that makes sense.
Perfect.
Alright, as you all enter the Dusk Meadow district of Vasselheim, the ground is made of dirt, ash, and dust, as if almost something is magically stopping vegetation from growing here. It is dark, it is gray. The two largest buildings in this area that you can see as you enter is a building built, a large, like 6-story building built out of stone that almost has a blue tint to it. Demi, you could point out that that is in fact the Cobalt Vault, which is the largest library and archive probably in the world, at least semi-publicly available. Additionally, you can see the spires of a Gothic cathedral. At the far end of this district, close to the Heaven's Stair. Made out of more black dark stone. Seem to be red and purple windows.
May I ask, Demi, why is the library of your order in such a deliberately desolate section? Purpose of the lifelessness here.
Oh, damn, I don't think I know the answer to that question.
You don't.
Guardian's vaguely uncomfortable with this. He's like, this feels too familiar. The vibe of this district is very off.
It is just happens to be where the Cobalt Soul built it, where there was space.
But to be fair, isn't most of the city kind of drab and desolate? Like,
yeah, it's
void of...
It's very...
Yeah, but this section...
It's very stone. It's very dark. This is increasingly desolate compared to the rest of the city.
The more gray and lifeless a place gets, the more Verdian starts to get a little bit like, ooh, you know? Like, he doesn't feel the Shadowfell like that in this area, I don't think, right? So he's not, like, actively repulsed, but he's, like, he kind of has a bit resting bitch face right now.
Yeah.
Just due to the vibe of this area. He's like, don't like it.
Well, I mean, that's life in academia for you. You know, what do they put in the middle of town, in the central part of the city, the banks and the, you know, all of the capitalism. Frivolities like the pursuit of knowledge, take a plot of land on the outskirts.
Neither of those things I mind nearly so much as just a lifeless energy in a place. But I suppose I can see some merit in it to avoid distraction from research, though it would be quite inconvenient if you're researching anything pertaining to life and cultivation.
I'm very interested to see what we find out when we go inside. I think that might tell us more about, did Demi get sucked into our timeline, or did we get sucked into hers, or is it like a merger?
I know that it seems odd, and none of this really makes sense because I would be lying to you if I said it made sense to me. And I know that we will get the answers, but it seems that the way that the Fate Stitcher works, that your Demi never existed. At least from a point where our paths emerged. I mean, I know when I left my home, right? So she must have left her home at the same time. We just must have gone on different paths, is all that I can kind of.
So
Made different choices.
You're not the Demi that was here before. Just making sure I'm clear because it's still confusing.
I don't think I am. I mean, I'm the Demi that was here, but not the Demi that was there. If
So
that makes
can you like grow vines that I can kill shit in and it's just gonna stay there? Like, what can you do?
I can. Well, you see, I've always been drawn to the Feywild. So I spent my life studying the Feywild. So I do have some sort of nature bending abilities. But what I really find fascinating is time. And I really find all of this so intriguing because this is kind of what I've hoped to study my whole life. Some sort of paradox like this.
See, I got told to never play with time. It's a weird soup and you'll get fucked with. So I just
Well, I don't know if Cyrus just felt what I did when we were meeting the guards, but I did see him try to slip the guard a note, and it didn't seem to be working in his favor. So I just kind of rewound a few seconds so he could get another chance at deception.
See, that sounds dangerous to me, guys. What if she does this to us? What if she rewinds time about our conversations?
I'd like to point out that
And
she
what's
did
happening?
just unpromptedly, willingly tell us that she's used it in a way to benefit us. If one was planning to use it against us surreptitiously, they would be unwise to share that so freely. And I kind of doubt that either the Demi we knew or this new Demi would be so foolish as to do that.
I don't know it's the same Demi, but okay. I mean, I trust you.
So
I trust
you
you. We'll figure it.
all, at this point, are making your way to the Cobalt Reserve?
Mhm.
All right. Or the Cobalt Vault. Sorry, the reserve is in Rexentrum.
Is it getting any warmer?
It is warmer within the city limits.
Okay. His
Are you
shell's
done,
now
Hot
up to his knees.
As you all are getting ready to go to the Cobalt Vault, Cade is going to say that he's going to head to the Platinum Sanctuary and talk to the people of his order. Because there's a lot he has to talk to. A lot he has to talk to them about.
When Cade says that, Demi will turn to Varian and say, "Oh, do you need to check in with your order?"
I don't think any who follow the deity that I have been blessed by would be here, to be honest. It's not exactly a common faith. I might look into it later, though.
You
For
don't
now,
follow the Raven Queen?
not exactly. We can talk of that more later.
It's funny you mention that. You
Above game, oh, go ahead.
and we'll get to that. You have subconsciously caught yourself staring at the cathedral in the distance of this district. Veridian. You can feel it tug at you.
I do think I should visit the cathedral later.
It is
I'll hold off for now, but I feel I should.
similar to the pull of the Shadowfell, of the orb, but this feels warmer.
More welcoming, less consuming.
Yes.
Kind of pull. Okay.
Like an old friend pulling you into a hug.
Mm.
Now what are you going to say, Debbie?
Did you see?
Oh, I did not. I will look right now. Mm-hmm. I would think so. Or had some idea that he's been in the Shadowfell.
I mean, given that you're a Shadar Kai, I figured that you would feel most at home there.
What's above? Finally, someone fucking recognizes it.
He's a what now?
Yeah, what's
A
that?
Shadar Kai.
I still wish I
Yeah.
knew what I was before. I still can't tell you that, but finally somebody knows the proper fucking name.
Am I pronouncing that right? Above game?
It's Shadar-kai.
Oh, okay. I can.
You're close
Confused
enough that
with
Veridian's just like a win is a
another-
win.
Yeah, what is a win? Veridian, can you make a perception check for me, please?
Okay.
Just aside to
passive
to
17.
Finnick.
Yeah.
Just aside to Finnick, Cyrus will just be like, I thought he was just an elf with weird hair.
Yeah.
His hair's probably the
Weird
least
looking
weird thing
elf.
about him.
You see over your shoulder, across the road, in a black hooded outfit trimmed with the red and purples of the Raven Queen. You can see outside of like raven feathers decorating like their walking stick. Just can't see their faces. It's completely blacked out. Reaches out a hand and looks like it's pointing at you. And as someone walks by them, they're gone.
Let's see if we can find your area of study, Demi, and we can talk more in depth there. I feel it may be unwise to get into particulars out and about here.
Well, if that's what you choose, but I don't really get to go over there much. They don't seem to value my value of knowledge in the same way, so I would like to get in there, but
Wait, where do you refer to?
the Temple of the Raven Queen.
Oh, well, like I said, we can absolutely look into that later. For now, I think going to, like I said, the place where you do most of your work might be more secure for the
So,
moment.
This is actually an interesting point. If you were to just go over and walk in, would you just say you probably would have gone over to the Raven's Crest and tried to walk into the temple? You? Yeah, you Demi. Yeah.
Oh.
There are priests of the Raven Queen that walk around, the Trust of Winter, who have the hoods up and you never see their faces, can be spotted around town and seen going in and out of the temple. When you walked into the temple, it looked empty and abandoned when you walked in.
Some knowledge isn't meant for everyone, it seems. But I was thinking maybe with you, I could get the answers I was looking for.
Well, I would be happy to help with that after we've confirmed some of the stuff we discussed on our way here. Let's get the confirmation on one thing before we move to our next query, right?
Demi just shrugs.
Okay.
The cobalt place then?
Yes, you guys can absolutely walk inside the Cobalt Vault. Extremely decorated, extremely well decorated, well kept, clean building here inside. It's a reference I think only Lenny and I would get. Very, very much looks like the inside of the Library of Congress. If anybody has ever seen photo, actually, it's in one of the those movies with Nicolas Cage, National Treasure movies. They go to it, National Treasure, and they actually filmed inside the real one.
It's like the 8th grade field trip when you lived in Philly.
Oh, nice.
It's like the 8th grade field trip. A lot of places.
For like half the East Coast.
In the country.
For like half the East Coast.
I don't think I've been in like the Jefferson building of the Library of Congress since then.
Wow.
I've been to other the Library of Congress is 3 huge buildings.
Yes.
And I've been to some of the others to do research, but
when I was in community college, we had to write. I took a comparative history class, so it was 20th century history through the lens of film and technology in film, and we had to write our final paper on like one of the biggest pivots in film. And so I did mine on the Great Train Robbery, which was the first time a camera moved, which is a silent film from 1908. I didn't get permission to do it, but they have one of the original prints you can go watch in the Library of Congress. And they have all sorts of cool stuff like that. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
That's some great history.
Yeah. During break, I'll tell you my favorite letter at the National Library of Congress, which is crazy. It's quiet. There are a lot of people reading. You see a lot of side rooms off with people that seem to be copying down stone tablets, scrolls into more well-protected... Oh, I forgot the name of that type of paper. Crud. Anyway.
Papyrus.
No, it's like translating papyrus into like the other type of paper.
Microfiche. No.
Is it comfortably warm in here?
Yes.
Okay. Finnick would probably come out fully out of his shell now. It'd kind of like shake off his shell.
For the modern equivalent, it's like they're copying it onto like, you know, the fantasy version of like archival paper in books so that it's going to last longer and that they can keep the knowledge. That's what a lot of people seem to be doing here. It's comfortably warm in here.
Oh, that's a lot better.
Agreed. The chill didn't bother me nearly as much as it seemed to you, but it is nice to be free of it.
The cold never bothered you anyway.
All right, Elsa.
I mean, y'all literally see the guy fade out partially from reality. It should be no surprise this motherfucker's kind of numb.
Yeah. And the front desk is kind of like, hello. Welcome to the Cobalt Vault. New friends of yours?
Old friends, it would seem.
Interesting.
A bit of both.
Very.
Perhaps even.
Finnick's just cocking his head at them now. It's like...
I seem to have left in a hurry. Is everything still in order how I left it?
should be.
Have I been given any new orders since I was gone? I'm not really sure how long I was out.
They'll check the work logs real quick and pull out this big thick book and pull it out, and about halfway through. You didn't check in for work this morning, and it seems you weren't at your station yesterday evening to check out.
Well, that's quite troublesome. And is there repercussions?
It seems you have a perfect record, so I doubt
Naturally.
you will face repercussions this time.
Understood.
Is anyone else a member of the Soul?
I will look around and just try to make eye contact with each of them. Not directly.
Alright. They are allowed, obviously, in our public-facing areas, and not allowed in the high vaults.
As one passionate about studies, although not a member of your order, it is an honor to be here, at the very least.
It's appreciated. This entire, and she'll kind of motion back behind her, the entire cylindrical library in the center is part of the public works we have. If you wish to get a book, please talk to one of the librarians. And welcome to the Cobalt Vault.
Thank you.
Since you've welcomed them in, we did have a little bit of a snafu at the gate. Is there any way that you can extend some sort of credentials for them so at least they can move more freely while we're here?
I will talk to Curator Kusuo and see if he can get them credentialed under the Cobalt Soul.
That would be much appreciated.
He gives a little bow.
Cyrus, I think, just gives a very informal salute.
We don't do that here.
Oh, well, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
Kind of looks over how odd the group is and kind of is taking notes to give to the curator real quick.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if the
Motions
new
a
Demi would
librarian over
notice.
and hand him the card.
I don't know if new Demi would notice. I think everybody who has been with Verdian and has the memory of traveling with Verdian for a while would pick up on that. There's a thrumming excitement. He is super fucking hyped to be here. Yeah, he's like, books. I don't know if maybe an insight for Demi to see if the new Demi picks up on this.
That's true.
He is trying to contain himself and not seem too overeager, so I guess I would roll a deception. It should be very easy for Demi to notice it if she wants to, though.
I rolled a
19.
Yeah, so you're very aware. You're very aware of it. You picked up on it right away.
Nat one, even better. Yeah. I think on a nat one, everybody's just hidden the candy
Not even
store.
not a nat one.
Oh.
It's a -1 modifier, so it's a
dang.
2 on the die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That low, it's barely
Dirty
contained.
one.
It's barely contained.
Yeah.
It's a
barely
dirty
contained
one.
excitement.
It's a dirty one.
I will say to the whole group, well, I'm very glad to be back here. And Cyrus, to answer your question, it seems that I've been gone for about a day and a half.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
At least a day. So I still need to keep up appearances while we're here, at least to get us by and to get any more information that we need. But like they said, this whole library is at your disposal. If there's anything that any of you were looking for, even if it's more restricted, I will make sure that you can get it. But seeing those magical shoes that you made, I know that you have at least some sort of alchemical knowledge based on their components. Is there something that you've been trying to research that I can help you with while we're here?
Oh, there's one piece of knowledge I'm very interested to find out, but I'm not sure a library has it. That might be a longer conversation.
Well, I'd like to have that with you sometime.
Yeah, yeah, I could have that conversation a second time.
Oh,
Sorry, rude.
no, not rude at all. I'm sorry.
Not your fault.
Well,
I'm just still getting used to the idea of having to reintroduce myself to you all over again.
but see, it is my fault. Even if it was the old Demi, she was still me once, at least until a certain point. So I am sorry.
Well, no apology necessary.
Bless you.
Is there anything?
And how about you, Craigthorpe?
Oh,
No good.
I was gonna say so I can start pulling stuff up in case people are. Is anybody looking for anything specific in the library?
I'm just gonna look for like books about guns and stuff, which
Okay.
I don't think there are much, but
Verdium wants to see if there is any writing about Asilis.
Okay.
I think Cyrus would be looking for. I don't even know if it would be in the public section, but if there are any arcane tomes about the various types of blood magic that can be used to locate family members.
Okay.
Like, I guess I know above game that exists. I think Cyrus might have an inkling,
Yeah.
but like not within his expertise at all. Like, no, see
Okay.
what it entails.
Cool. All right. Well, sorry. What were you gonna say, Demi?
Oh, I was just RPing, so I was just gonna say, how about you, Craig Thor? You said you wanted guns. I'm sure you can find a whole bunch of information, but he asked anyway.
yeah.
Can the Actually, it wouldn't be that. It would be librarians. You talk to the librarians; they will gladly pull down books on that sort of thing for you all.
Would Finnick know? How to word this? Would Finnick think that the Knuckles are more powerful than what they are right now?
There are books written on the vestiges. You
Okay.
could grab.
Yeah, Finnick would try figure out stuff about his new smashing hands.
Okay. That makes it easier for the librarian. They pull one book down to hand to you and Cragthor, which is the Cobalt Soul dossier that they have assembled on Vox Machina.
So we have to share this book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking it first.
I'm pretty sure.
Hector just literally pulls out his knife, like try me. Don't do it.
And
Like,
Finnick just kind
we
of
want to know about.
extends.
It's like we want to know about guns and vestiges of divergence. It's like, all right, you get the one book about Vox Machina.
Yeah.
The split.
Yeah.
How tall is Craig Thor again?
He's just gonna hold it over
in
his
messing
head.
your knee up range.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'm 5 feet, so. Finnick will just, like, look over your shoulder.
Okay.
You can have it when I'm done, and I'm quick. I promise. He just looks around like paranoid that someone's gonna take it now, though.
He's still, like, looking over your shoulder. Or over top of you.
Say you don't look over his
Demi.
shoulder, you can just look over his head.
Demi'd like to look up books about incidents like what they're saying that they've all experienced. Just like stuff about time, but in the sense of like people swapping realities or things that she hasn't already read about the Fate Stitcher or the way that making deals like that can just change and stuff that would maybe like why people have made these deals in the past and if there is a way to reverse it or find her like memories, like if there's a way to recover lost memories once these deals have been made.
Okay. Okay.
And I think at some point while all this is happening, kind of offhand to Demi, I would say, well, if you were here 24 hours ago, then I think when we check in with our handlers again with the Resistance and get back to Taldore, maybe they won't remember you being there either. Maybe we are in your timeline here.
Well, maybe that's the case. Like I said, I feel like because you were the way that I'm envisioning this in my mind, the way that I can deduce what happened is you were all on a different plane of existence when that deal took place that your Demi made, right? So if that's what happened, then you were not in that reality of this. So there is no timeline. Like it's not like we're in a different timeline. We're still on your timeline. You just weren't in the realm. So it was easier to pick Demi out of that world. At least your
Oh,
Demi.
could
So you
be.
all
But
remember her.
we all still remember her, and that's true. Maybe the folks back at the Resistance will still remember her too. It just feels
Or they
odd
won't at all.
that two separate groups of people a continent apart can both remember Demi at the same time. And two wildly different Demis.
Well, I assure you for over 20 years I've been here. See, I tried to get as far away as I could from Amman, and knowing what happened there, that's never a chance for me to go back. I don't have a home to go to. And I was never really welcomed in my home anyway, so I found one that would welcome me. And a
Oh.
library is full of millions of stories. There's always a home to be found.
Cool. Verdian.
Mhm.
You are handed a book on... Oh, hold up. I gotta pull this up. The Minor Gods of the Swavane Islands. Which is where you remember your pre-Shadowfell days. And it is a book on all of the minor deities that are worshipped by the Kuatoa and the lizard folk and everything else in the Clovis Concord, as well as the Savane Islands and some of the other minor islands of Exandria.
Well, Verdian immediately starts like flipping through this, like ravenously looking for mentions of the particular lizard folk deity that helped him.
It is in the book. According to the Cobalt Soul knowledge, though, there are no still known practitioners within the Clovis Concord or Darktail.
So his face lights up with like childlike glee for a moment, and then immediately falls when he sees the name, but then the no known practitioners thing. But then like the realization kind of hits him. Well, like I hadn't even heard of this deity until I actually met the lizard folk tribes there. So like, okay, like he starts to think it through rationally. He's like, they're probably still there. It's just that people of this land don't have much interaction with them anymore. It's fine. This is fine. I can preserve what knowledge of it I have if it is lost, and try to bring it back at least, if nothing else. So he's like kind of, he's coping, literally coping right now. But
cool.
Yeah, he's kind of absorbed in that.
Yeah. Correct, Thor, there is a section in the book on all of the firearms designed by Percival von Musel-Kowalski de Rollo III. Lord of
Frederick Stein.
Huh?
Frederick Stein.
Frederick Stein von Musel-Kowalski de Rollo III, Lord of the Third House of Whitestone. You have both of the two known firearms he carried. They're broken, or one of them is broken still, but not beyond repair.
I'm gonna try and study to see if I can figure out at least like guidance for the people who can repair them.
Okay.
As well as like how to make bullets more effectively if possible. Because I know like I could, but not very well.
There's not a whole lot on making bullets in here. Probably just a small, like, 3-sentence paragraph that he was known to do it himself as the first known practitioner of this. Although there is a note in the book made by one of the Cobalt Soul investigators to investigate and talk to an individual by the name of Victor, who was a known associate, who happens to live in Vasselheim.
Definitely a note I'm gonna tell everyone else.
Yeah.
Just share that kind of knowledge.
Hearing about that like breaks Verdian out of his like hope mental loop for a second. He's like, what?
As soon as he hears that, I imagine he's going to go tell everybody, and then that gives Finnick some time with the book.
Yeah, no, but I'm also going to go back to the librarian.
Yeah.
I want to see if there's a book on, like, magic ammunition.
Okay.
As well.
Okay. They do have some scrolls on crafting that type of thing, but it seems to be mostly for arrows and crossbow bolts.
Like, not magic ammunition?
Not magic bullets. The theories may be able to be applied. The theories may be able to be applied, but it would take some time and skill and effort.
Can I ask the librarian if they've heard anything about that? Like any leads to people who might have tried? Not necessarily been successful, but tried.
That's a good question. I don't actually know. I will figure that out for you momentarily. Finnick, you would read up, you knew these belonged to Grog because of several people telling you.
Mm-hmm.
It was said the last notes they have of them before they went into the second Battle of Amon was that his strength capabilities were similar to that of an adult red dragon.
Oh, how did he get that? I don't have that. It doesn't say how he was able to do that.
No. The Cobalt Soul investigator who wrote this dossier does assume it is rightfully so that it is the vestige that gave him that level of strength.
Okay.
Cyrus, there are several books on artificing in here. And I say that because it is different than being an artificer.
Mm-hmm.
It is the crafting and creation of magical items. There is a book on known magics of the world that artificers and magic item crafters of a certain level can typically manufacture. Some of them take more time than others. There are several that can locate people.
Yeah, I'll make some notes about what seem like maybe the most promising ones.
Yeah. I think I
The
know above
ones
gate
that-
what item you want.
Oh, I'm not even
Craft-
thinking about a particular item.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
we don't have to do that item. I did that in another campaign.
That's true. There are others.
But- And I'm kind of assuming above game, the story will take us there when it's time.
Yeah.
But in game, I think that's what he'd be curious about.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, I guess if there's anything in there that it seems like I could craft or I might be able to scrounge together with the resources I have at my disposal now,
Yeah.
probably not. But
Yeah. The librarian, when you talk about that, Cragthor, will point you to the back of the Vox Machina dossier. The Cobalt Soul has spies everywhere. They stalk people of interest, essentially. For those of you who are new to Exandria, the Cobalt Soul is is basically the CIA, like the monk magic CIA. They have a list of known adversaries of Vox Machina, who may not be public information to the rest of the world that they exist, but they have this information here. There was a person that assisted Percival in firearms and has since tried to replicate it and go above and beyond what he did. Their status is listed as alive, although current whereabouts are unknown, by the name of Dr. Anna Ripley.
I'm not gonna say why. Like, I want to find that person, but I'm definitely gonna say we need to find them to everyone.
Well, where'd you read that name?
It's in the book. It's in the book. Look.
Oh,
Then I'm gonna
You
throw
mind-
it over to the shell boy.
do you mind if I take a look at that when you're both done with it?
Just gonna throw it over to Finnick, like straight over the shoulder, just like, yeah, you can have it now. I'm done.
Okay.
Then I'll look over and be like, yeah, well, he's done. I don't want it back. I'm good. I'm good.
Great.
And Finnick doesn't find information on making it stronger.
There is a note in the back before you hand it over to both of you hand it over to Cyrus that is noted of the vestiges of divergence. There seems to be reference to a book that they have in the actual reserve, which is not public. But it does talk about how through some manner of action, Grog was able to exalt his vestige before their encounter with Thordak.
And that's not in this book.
No, that
But
is
it
in the
says
book on
which
the
book it's in?
Yes, it references a
Okay.
book on the vestiges of divergence, which is in the private library for soul members only.
So would it say it in there that it's for soul members only? Or would Finnick kind of...
You would kind of assume that, considering you asked about it. If it was in the public section, they would have pulled it down for you with the question you asked.
Okay. So, as Finnick hands the book to Cyrus, he'll kind of go up to Demi and ask if she could possibly get the book. And he'll say the book's name.
Well, and I'll lower my tone some. I have been known to get things out of there when I need them, and I'll give you a wink.
He'll just... And he'll just go find somewhere to sit down.
Okay.
And wait.
So, in this book about Vox Machina,
Yes.
you mentioned there is a dossier of known adversaries.
Correct.
Is there also a dossier of known allies?
There is, in fact, also a dossier in the back of known allies.
I would like to go through the dossier of known allies and see if there's any activity logged after 8/11 PD.
There
Like, have they been keeping up
is.
on, like, after Vox Machina's death, have they been keeping up on what people are up to
Yes.
who knew them?
There is. They've kept up on people like Michael Daxio, Jamansa Ward, Earthbreaker Groon, who obviously is part of the Vasselheim structure, pieces like that. Cassandra Girolo, they do actually have a note that is presumed alive and working for the Resistance in Taldore, which is supposedly a secret the Resistance has kept. I suppose you're looking for a very specific name.
Sure.
Okay. There is a note by an investigator or an inquisitor to talk to Jamansa Ord.
Remind me who Jamansa Ord is.
Jamansa Ord is the leader of Ankarel, who you all met. Who is also called the Soul of the Jeweled City, and is the
right. Okay.
head of the Hand of Ord, which is an organization out in Marquette as well.
In Ankarel. Okay. Does it give the name of the Cobalt Soul investigator that made this note?
Doesn't.
Demi. Weird question, but do you recognize whose handwriting this is by any chance?
Do you want me to make an intelligence check?
Yeah, please.
Is it investigation or just straight intelligence?
Straight intelligence.
That's a dirty 20 for a 15 plus 5.
You do not recognize the handwriting.
You know, wait, I have a question.
And that is
given one of my skills.
That is very weird for you.
Well, I was going to say, given my skills, can I make that roll with advantage? Since I know handwriting.
So I lowered the DC. You do not recognize it. You would recognize that is very weird for you. You can recognize most of the Inquisitor's handwritings. This is not someone who makes notes often.
I've never seen this dictation before, actually, Cyrus. I'm really sorry. I'm pretty good at copying everybody's writing, and this isn't one I've done before.
I'm not going to ask how you acquired that skill.
Oh, well, you don't have to ask, I'll tell you. I mean, just being in the library, working my way up through my ranks, I had to basically do all the grunt work, and sometimes they don't have time to do the dictations themselves or sign a letter. So they would have me do it. And I just kind of got better and better at it. And she's like very, I know you were saying it above game. I know how Cyrus was saying it, but Demi was very earnest in the way that she answered it. Like she didn't understand what you were saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess I might ask the librarian also.
I'll kind of look at it. Huh. I recognize most of the Inquisitor's handwritings by now. This is not someone I am aware of. It makes many notes. I can ask around who's checked it out or taken it for investigation.
I'd be very interested to interview whoever wrote this note. Let's just say I'm an interested party.
Okay. Great. I will do that.
Appreciate it.
And I think, perfectly timed, hour and 30. Let's take our break now. And we'll get back to this when we get back.
Fair enough.
Perfect. See you guys in a few.
Cheers.
welcome back. I hope everybody's having a good Monday evening. I realized I didn't do this at the start of stream. But if you guys want to support us for as little as $1, we do have a Patreon. If you guys want some cool stuff, we do have some t-shirts, polos, glasses available, hopefully more soon. Trademark. I keep saying I'm going to do that, and I keep getting rebuffed by Fourth Wall. But they've been good so far. So,
Eventually.
with that out of the way. Eventually we'll put the booty shorts up, okay? I know you want a pair.
I just want the damn sweatpants.
I know.
Don't
I
tell
do
anyone
too.
about my booty shorts that I had y'all produce, okay?
Pixar, it didn't happen.
Oh, man.
Look, they were my
Yeah, I want
design,
booty
okay?
shorts.
Calm
I want
down.
booty shorts that are just 2 big D20s, one on each cheek.
That can
Yes,
happen.
please.
Dude, the
No,
booty shorts version of the
it's-
Yes They're Natural shirt
Don't
is so
Don't
good.
threaten me.
That's
It's
so
It's
exotic.
two big 20. It's 2 big D20s in the front.
Why not both?
Yes.
Why not
Oh,
Why
both?
not both?
Yeah.
You
I'll
get
wear
it
both.
deep in the front and
I'll
2
wear
on the
both.
butt cheeks.
I'll wear both. I don't care. You have a pair you can borrow? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I totally forgot where we were.
Books.
You were
Vasselheim.
asking about a writer.
Mm-hmm.
They ask around. None of the investigators seem to know who made the note.
Oh, well, thanks for taking a look.
Sorry we couldn't be more assistance. Typically these things don't happen.
When something only typically doesn't happen, I find it's inevitable eventually it will.
Yes, eventualities come for us all. Is there anything else we can help you with this evening before we close?
I can't think of anything.
No, yeah, I don't think there's anything else.
Know of a good place for rooms for rent?
Oh, we'll definitely provide accommodations. Don't worry. There's no need to rent. You're our guest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is so all those questions I asked, I'm assuming there's not much I would find here, but when I go get that book for Finnick, do I find any of those answers I was looking for about time and deals and regaining memories from deals that were taken, all that?
You are an oddity within the Cobalt Soul. Most people who dabble or go hard into chronergy are located within the Chroma Dynasty, and they do not let information out very easily. There are very few people from the Cobalt Soul that have gotten in and successfully gotten out. You pretty much know all you know about time from them already that has been gotten.
That's what I.
The answer in terms of the Fae, it's pretty much how bad they want to trick you.
But that's kind of like what I would already know studying
Yeah.
the Fate Stitcher so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would also know, because Feywild things. The Fate Stitcher's better at manipulating fate and reality than most of the other, for lack of a better word, demigods that reside within the Feywild. Fae are more likely to feign power than actually have it, versus someone like the Fate Stitcher who has power and feigns that they don't.
Very well.
It's the
Um,
nonchalant shoulder shrug to me.
What do you expect?
I don't know. Are you gonna look for the answer for Finnick, or are you gonna hand it to him?
So what I would like to do is find a way. So like I assume that like any archive, you still like everything is like all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted here, right? So I would have to log out this book. Being here for so long, I would assume that I would also know ways around like using the demi-decimal system, the Dewey Decimal System. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's the
And
demi-decimal
No,
system
yeah,
now.
that's
You
great.
invented it. That's canon.
Yep.
I was trying to say demi using the Dewey Decimal System. It was just too many. But anyway, I would know like how to kind of fudge numbers and kind of do that kind of stuff. So what I would like to do is use my skill to try to act like I took out a different book than I did.
Okay. Not hard to do. You know the library.
And I won't tell Finnick the information because I feel that this Demi, believes all knowledge needs to be earned. So I'll just hand him the book.
Okay. Cool. So, Finnick, you have a book. You have the information. You have the book in your hands and the vestiges.
Finnick's gonna read it.
Okay. They have a history. Of the vestige. It was made by Cord during the Calamity. It is made from, as the name implies, an Earth Titan that was killed during the Schism. And it used to be wielded by the leader of the Temple of Cord here in Vasselheim until it was lost for about 200 years, until Grog maintained possession of them. It is said in the beginning, talking about vestiges, that they revert back to their dormant state when wielded by someone who is not worthy, and they need to be reawakened to their true power. By their new wielder.
Okay. Are there any hints to what Finnick should do? Could do?
There is not. It is said that Grog wielded them in their awakened state. During his combat, and exalted them sometime prior to their conflict with Thordak, but it does not have any information. There is a note in there to talk to Earthbreaker Groon to see if he knows more, but that is basically from 811 PD right before the world blew up, and there is not a follow-up in that book.
Okay. And this person is no longer alive?
You know Earthbreaker Green.
I do.
You do.
He was the one in your vision.
Dauntless.
And also the one that told you to do shit in Port Tamale.
Oh. Yes.
One of the ambassadors of Vasselheim to the Resistance.
Okay.
Isn't that fun?
You all can spend the rest of your evenings reading, poring over details of these books. If anyone needs their long rest button for any reason, is you all fall into sleep. You can.
Can I have a few minutes to talk to Demi alone before bed?
Was there something you needed assistance with in your test, Cyrus?
No, I just wanted to check on you. Hell of a day.
Yes, I'm glad there wasn't any repercussions for my absence. You know, I've tried to be an exemplary student. I need to make my way to the top as fast as I can. It's the only way to true knowledge here.
I'm sure it was a little jarring getting sucked into the Feywild for 24 hours. But for the rest of us, it was like we said goodbye to a friend. And
Well,
it's
jarring
almost like
is an
we're meeting
it's
you
almost
all
like
over
what?
again.
Well, I will tell you. You were the first one I made eye contact with when I came to. And no one has ever looked at me like that before. Such love and concern. You
We
must
had
have
only
cared
been
about your Demi a lot.
traveling together for about a month, but yeah, I loved and cared for Demi very much. For you, I guess you're still the same person.
Well, I'd like to think that there's parts of me that are like your Demi. And I haven't had many relationships with people, only pages in books, but I would say seeing the way that you looked at me, the way that all of you did, she had to have felt the same.
She was our friend. And she was in an impossible situation and made a really difficult choice.
I mean, you seem like a great friend. And I'm not sure if you and her had anything else besides that friendship. But it
Well,
seemed that she gave up.
even the slightly older version of Demi that I knew was still young enough to be my daughter, okay? That's not what I'm about.
Listen, I don't yuck anybody's yum, okay? But you seem to be family. And the Shadar-kai said something about a daughter, or you said something about a daughter, and he warned you not to tell me. So there was a lot of family that she sacrificed.
Demi had a daughter. You had a daughter. The daughter, Persephone, had been taken prisoner by this hag in the Feywild. And we were going there to try to set her free. And I don't remember what happened after that. I just remember leaving Caldore and showing up in Vasselheim, but piecing it together, I guess Demi made a different deal to kind of maybe she realized she couldn't save her daughter, and the next kindest thing to do was to sort of undo her existence, to make it so that she never had a daughter. She never made those decisions that led to this impossible situation she found herself in.
Well, I mean, given the facts, that seems to be what happened. But the more that I think about the relationships that Demi shared, that I shared with you all, I don't think it was just to save her daughter. What if it was to save all of you? That's what I've been trying to figure out, right? Because yes, one person's sacrifice. I mean, obviously, I have no regrets about the life that I've lived. This is amazing, right? But I don't know anything else.
Nor should you. I think that's why she chose this version of you.
But I can't see myself being that selfish, right? Especially because if our paths, right, where Demi, that Demi, and this Demi, if those paths left at the same point, right? If she knew everything that I knew up until that point, she had never known love or at least true fellowship with others. And I still kind of don't, but I mean, if she would have had that, I can't imagine her sacrificing it just to start a new life and save a daughter. I think you're all in the equation as well.
I don't know. I think you're speaking like a version of Demi who isn't a parent yet.
Well,
I think
I
once you
just
have a
know
daughter, you'll do anything.
Oh,
And I don't know
do you
exactly
know
what
from
I don't know
personal experience?
exactly what we all experience in the Feywild. That's still a blur to me, but she was hell-bent. She needed to get back there. She needed to save her daughter. Everything she did was about that. And I can relate. I'm trying to find mine too. I think that's why we got so close and why we bonded so deeply. We were both just parents trying to help our kids in this fucked up world.
I ask where your daughter is.
I don't know.
Are you looking for her?
I am. She's somewhere out there. I know she's alive. Drix here wouldn't be here if she weren't alive.
Yes, you
You're
really
in.
seen Drix?
What's up?
Who's Drix?
He was asking quietly if the new Demi had seen Drix yet.
Oh. No, and Cyrus just grabs some of like his tousled hair. Total absent-minded professor moment. Oh God, you haven't even met Drix yet. 1 second.
He'll come out of invisibility.
Hey, buddy, you wanna come out and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Drix. Nice to meet ya.
In Infernal, I'll say nice to meet you too.
Oh. And he'll start speaking in Infernal. Wait, does Cyrus understand Infernal? Was that on?
Yeah,
his...
he speaks. I speak Infernal.
Yeah, you speak Infernal. Yeah. He'll talk Infernal. I think he knows it too, but we can have conversations that the others don't understand. This is gonna be so much fun. Yeah.
I've just always found it polite to speak to someone in their language.
Me too, but I only know like 2. So it's a little hard for
What's
me.
your other?
Common.
Oh, common.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I ain't the brightest, but I get the job done.
Well, you sure do.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Drix, and
He'll go back invisible
again.
and you're like, while he moves to the other shoulder to try and be sneaky.
Well, when we
So
got
yeah,
acquainted,
that's kind of a weird thing about me.
well, I would assume it's just part of your inherent magic to be able to have someone like that.
Inherent magic? Oh, that's not me, hon.
Well, how did you get your magic then?
Well, that started about 27 years ago when, in desperation to save my daughter's life from a horrible illness that no one could cure, I reached out into the void for anything or anyone who might be able to help. And that is how I made a deal with the devil. Not the devil, I guess, but a devil. And the deal was that they would heal my daughter and she would live, but I could never see her again. And if I ever saw her or communicated with her ever again, I would die 1 year to the day after that moment. So I, wrote a hasty letter to a family friend and hoped that someone would take care of her, and I ran. I just ran. Got as far away as I possibly could. I didn't want to die for nothing. And I lived out the rest of my years on Wildmount in around Port Damali. Tried to start a little apothecary shop and barely made ends meet. Didn't really have 2 coppers to rub together by the end of it, but I gather she lived. heard about her here and there. And ever since these dragons took over, I've decided I need to come back here and do what I should have done a long time ago. Seek her out and make my amends. And then 1 year after that, I will die. And I've made my peace with it. And I'm ready to go. I've lived a long, mostly wasted life. But my, the devil I made that deal with gave me these powers, and he also sent Drix to me. And he sent Drix to me because I was back on Taldore and I was getting close. They were getting kind of worried that I might be on my way to fulfill the contract. Wanted to make sure I kept the straight and narrow, or whatever. But as long as he's here, as long as I have this power and this magic, I know she must be alive. There must still be hope. Anyway, I came in here because I wanted to talk about you, and...
Well, first I have to tell you, it doesn't seem like your life was wasted at all. That sounds like a very noble sacrifice. And I'm not one for honoring the gods or devils or demons as much as I am magic itself and those who grant it, but it seems that you did everything you could to protect your daughter. A very noble thing to do.
I left a 5-year-old girl to grow up without a father. Because I was scared of dying. I could have stayed. She would have been a 5-year-old girl with a father. I would have died when she was 6. Maybe that would have been better. Anyway, these are the thoughts that have festered over 27 years. That's not really here nor there.
The other demi was lucky to have you, Cyrus.
I was lucky to have her. And I think I'm still lucky to have you. You're not the same. You're not totally different either.
And after telling me that story, I think you were more to her than just a friend.
It's hard to believe it's only been a month or so. I've been through so much with these folks.
But I do need to know, though. I've spent a lot of time studying the Feywild. There's been just something inside of me that's just drawn to it. And the Fate Stitcher, especially, and their magic and time. But what I know about the Morrigan, as she's often called, is that every deal has a price. So I made a new deal. I got this life. What did the Morrigan get? What was the her end of the bargain? Did any of you make a deal?
I don't remember. Sorry, I wish I did.
Well, I think once we find that answer, we'll maybe find the reason why I did this.
Off to your separate corners. To a long rest many of you are starting to settle down into. Cade's still at the Platinum Sanctuary, by the way.
Roll for. Well, sorry. I guess the night before, I'll make 2 vials of acid with the alchemy jug.
I have a question for 2 people. Yeah, you can do your normal nighttime routine.
Yeah, and
So
then in the
don't
morning, I'm going to
don't
roll
morning
for.
it. Yeah, you can roll for morning. Just don't tell
Okay.
me. Just don't tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, when you were like, I made a deal with the devil, my vocal stim from TikTok came out. It's me, the devil from the Bible. Finnick and Verdian. Who wants to go first?
Oh boy, what's going on? What are we doing?
Iridian can go first.
Okay.
Okay, then I guess.
You fall asleep like any given night into your trance. And in the middle of it, there's an unfamiliar feeling that comes over you. Pure weightlessness. You haven't really felt that way since you were underwater.
Ooh. Don't like that.
As your eyes open, you are dangling in nothingness, except from a string coming out from your heart, going up beyond what you can see in this darkness.
What is this?
You're no longer hanging from it. It's pulling. Something is pulling it towards you on this string. You see out of your vision, from a distance, something white, decorative. And as it gets closer, this mask that's probably 5 times the size of you. White and intricately detailed. Long black hair behind it with raven feathers tied into it. Fate. Young one. Fate.
What sort of fate presents itself so, well, uniquely as this?
No one has control over fate. They can only give you a gentle push in the right direction. Their fingers will come up and snip the line, and you will just free fall.
Huh.
100, 200, 300 feet. And you finally hit water. But your fall doesn't stop there. It continues pulling you under as if you're free falling through the water. Do you think you'd keep your eyes open?
I think he's used to water in the face enough to at least, attempt to initially. Like, he wouldn't reflexively snap his eyes shut.
And as you look up, as you're pulled through like the first 100 feet, you're used to seeing light and its reflection of blue as you dive down and come back up. You can see the moon, you can see the sun, it's blue. This is red. And as it fades to black, you wake up and finish your trance.
Much to consider. He almost looks like he snapped out of the trance, and he looks like he's just like gone into another different trance now as he's pondering what he just saw.
Finnick.
Yes.
What do you think Finnick dreams of most nights?
Tasty, colorful flowers. But since he has gotten these gauntlets, he's probably dreaming about smashing rocks together.
Okay.
And making powder.
Do you think you ever dream of home?
Probably. Probably quite rare that he dreams of home.
Take a point. God, that's good. Yeah. Do you think being across the world that tonight would be one of the nights you would dream of home? Seeing as you were
being so
far from
far.
home, now you're even further. Not a continent away, not a boat ride away. Weeks away from home. You dream walking up that little tiny path to the house your parents built where you and your siblings spent time together before going your separate ways. And you open the door to a cold wind and snow, to the floor of an arena. It pulls you through probably about 10-15 feet. The door slams shut. You've recognized this arena. You saw it in your dreams when you tried to attune to the knuckles.
Oh.
You realize you've seen this arena now from a distance with your own eyes down towards the center of Vasselheim.
Oh. Ah. Is there anyone else there? Or is it empty?
As you look out towards the arena here, the side that I don't have revealed on camera right now,
Mm-hmm.
no one. You kind of spin around and look back up and look around, and as you do, there is now someone about 40 feet away from you.
Do I recognize them?
You do not.
Okay.
They are extremely well built. Beard, bald, 5-line tattoos, heads across the a vicious looking axe in their hands. A belt.
Is it a dwarf?
A belt. No, they're about 7 feet tall.
Okay.
They do have a belt of dwarven kind on.
Okay.
And while you also in this dream are wearing the Titanstone knuckles, they are also wielding them.
Interesting.
I don't think it's your strong suit. Make an intelligence check for me.
Just my intelligence modifier, right?
Yes.
So straight roll.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 15.
You read a description that matched this like
Oh.
2 hours ago.
Oh, interesting.
You hear... I think you would also understand that while in this dream, we'd leveled up raid. You guys got level 11. Congratulations. Kali Flumps' crew. Let's go. You know for a fact that Grog Strongjaw is dead.
Yeah.
He was killed by Thordak, and yet here he is with the Titanstone knuckles standing 40 feet away from you.
Oh.
Perhaps I went too easy on you last time.
Oh. Too easy, you say?
And he'll crack the knuckles together and grow even larger.
Ooh.
Yeah, too easy.
Pinnacle just like do the same thing and notice he doesn't grow. I'm like, he's like,
happen.
oh. Is that what happens when they're awakened?
And as you say that and look up, he is charging at you. Can you roll initiative for me, please?
I have advantage. I got a dirty 20.
Okay. Let's go. I didn't want to name him in case anybody saw me doing that and told him. He's going first on a 23.
Oh, shit.
We'll also say you raged when he was charging at you. For
Okay.
initiative being rolled. Just to make this a little more interesting.
Of course.
He's gonna attack recklessly.
Okay.
I'm trying to play this how Grog would. Yeah, he's gonna attack recklessly and also gonna use Great Weapon Master here.
Okay.
First attack is a dirty 30.
Ouch.
That is 30 points of slashing damage halved.
Halved.
Mm-hmm.
So 15?
Yep.
Okay.
Second attack is also reckless. That's going to be a natural 20.
Damn.
halved is 34 points of damage.
34.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you still up?
Yes, I'm still up.
Third reckless is also going to be a dirty 30
Okay.
for another 15 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot the enlarge reduce damage.
It?
On the crit, yeah, so that would only be another 2 points of damage on the
Other
crit.
2? Okay.
Yeah. All right. That is his turn. Finnick, what would you like to do?
Fennec's going to rage
Oh, he said you did rage when he charged
Oh.
at you.
when he did charge. Okay.
Yeah.
So raged. He's going to swing at him with his great axe.
Okay.
Since he attacked recklessly, that would be with advantage.
Do you have
right?
advantage on him? Yeah.
It is a dirty 20.
That will hit.
Cool. $11 damage.
Okay, so halved is 5.
And then second hit with advantage again, or
Mhm. Yeah. All your attacks are at advantage
Right.
because he raged. Because he recklessed.
a nat 20 for
Cool.
29.
Oh, yeah, nat 20s, baby. Let's go.
So that's an extra d12.
Mm-hmm.
12 plus.
Yep.
$25 damage.
So halved is 12. Okay. Anything else?
He'll just admirably say, "You hit well." And he doesn't really have an extra bonus action.
Just kind of look at the critical hit, which probably opened up a cut about 2 inches long on him. It's a strong dude. Just looks at that. All right for that little scratch. And he's gonna uppercut you with the Titanstone Knuckles. Recklessly.
Mm-hmm. Probably does more than 13 damage.
32
Halved.
is
Yeah.
only 8 points of damage.
It was only 8?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, he has 2 fists.
Yeah.
Another 32 for another 8 points of
Yeah.
damage. One uppercut, second uppercut. And as you go unconscious, you just hear the voice switch to the deep voice of the Storm Lord. Like I said, too easy on you. And you wake up in the morning. You have a headache when you wake up.
Being knocked around in my own shell? Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably starts muttering to himself. Need to get stronger. It just keeps repeating it, mumbling quietly.
As you all wake up in the morning feeling refreshed,
Did you all sleep well?
Hmm.
Hopefully the accommodations were to your liking.
The accommodations were perfectly fine. Though it wasn't the most restful night.
Finnick's not paying attention. He's doing. You might hear like a bit of mumbling, and he's like basically working out in place.
Like shadow box.
Yeah.
Is this your morning routine?
It might take a minute or two to get his attention. He looks very, very focused and very spaced out.
Mr. Shell,
What? What? How long have you been there?
oh, we've all been here for a little while. Is this what you normally do in the morning?
Yes.
Oh. Well, whatever works for you.
And he like drops into like push-ups.
Cyrus is just over in his corner, busying himself with his alchemist supplies, and he rolled a potion of transformation for the day. An elixir of transformation, which is gives you the effects of the alter self spell for 10 minutes. And if we have time for a quick short rest before we get started with the day, I'll make a boldness and a healing also. In this building full of locked doors and restricted access, Demi, do you think something like this might be useful or not worth risking?
Well, the good thing with restricted areas, if you have enough clearance, you can get into anywhere. Wait, above game, were you asking about the transformation?
Yeah. Like, would it help to be able to change yourself to look like another person? Like,
I
not,
think
it's not an illusion, it's not a disguise, it like physically changes you into that person for 10 minutes.
I guess anything is worth a try, but given what we know here, we being the Cobalt Soul, I think that they might see through anything. But if you'd like to give it a shot,
Oh, no, it's, this is your job, it's your career we'd be putting on the line if we tried anything. I'm just wondering if it's anything you might find useful. Not even here necessarily, but anywhere else in the city that maybe you're not able to go normally, but maybe if you looked like somebody else.
I mean, I'm willing to try anything. I just think that when we're dealing with the gods,
I prefer not to, but go on.
Well, here in Vasselheim, that's all we deal with. That's kind of who gives us all of our power. I mean, even here, us Order of Mages, like, we all still revere a god or two. They see through everything, is my point.
Well, fair enough.
But above game, that's a freaking awesome potion that I had or an elixir that I had no idea was an option.
Yeah. The drinker's body is transformed as if by the alter self spell. The drinker determines the transformation, the effects of which last for 10 minutes. So I think the rules for it are, so like there are specific rules for like doing it with combat where like it could give you natural weapons
Yes.
for 10 minutes. Like if you're punching, you could punch with a d6 instead of 1 or whatever it is.
Oh, that's cool.
But for role playing, it's basically, it has to be your same size and it has to have the same orientation of limbs as you.
So I was
Free
trying to
green
think of
for
a way.
you.
Yeah, like you can't, or like I couldn't turn into a halfling or something like that, or a halfling couldn't turn into a human.
I was trying to explain it in a way like without using a Harry Potter reference because like in the 7th book when they're going through Gringotts and then the thief's demise, like I kind of imagine like that happens whenever you go anywhere around here.
Yeah, but that's what it's basically 10-minute polyjuice potion for one person.
Can you make more of those though?
Sure, but give me some time.
I mean, like you have the recipe.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind.
No, give me an hour. I can make 2.
And above game, these are the only potions that like last for the day, right? Until long rest.
They only last 10 minutes.
Well, no. The elixirs will be there until we take our next long rest.
Correct.
When you consume it, the effect only lasts.
Yeah, when you consume it, the effect lasts 10 minutes for that particular one.
Yeah, that is correct. %100% correct.
Yeah, but like maybe not in a place as secure as the Cobalt Soul, but in other places where like maybe looking like the boss is enough to get us through security. It's something to think about.
Also, I really would have liked to known what Luca looked for while we were here.
Yeah, me too. I'll have to ask him about it tomorrow.
We can retcon.
We can. Retconning is a powerful tool that all DMs have in their toolbox and should use, I believe. Obviously within reason.
Yeah. Like many tools, it can be dangerous if overused.
Yes. I really like that Demi doesn't know what her deal is.
So,
Sorry.
Has anyone heard from
someone who actually
above game? I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, what are you saying, in character, Cyrus?
Has anyone heard from Cade? He never came back last night.
Above game, we'll get to that at the end of session.
Would Cade be in a situation where he could use the sending spell? Because I feel like checking in would be a thing he would do.
Yeah, I was going to, and then I was getting stuff.
No worries.
Prepped for Finnick. Yeah, he would have been able to use a sending spell last night, and would say that he was staying at the Platinum Temple. Was doing research on his own things that he could find there. and would probably get in touch with you at some point today.
Okay. If he sends that to me, I would reply, it would be a good idea to send a message to Dust also. Let her know that we're half a world away and it's not really our fault.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's kind of our fault.
To
You be the
Dust or
judge.
Gilmore?
Probably, yeah, Gilmore or
probably Gilmore.
whoever we talked to in
Yeah.
in Zephyra, who's in
Yeah, we'll say he
charge.
used his other third level spell slot to send a message to Gilmore.
Okay.
What does he say?
You don't know.
I was going to count it out.
You don't know. Okay. What is on the agenda today? Or let me say this morning.
Well, I guess we'll know more once we hear from Cade. He was checking in with some stuff with his own order. I just wanted to ask, while we're all here, what's your plan, Demi? Are you gonna stay here and keep going with your research, or do you want to come back to Teldore with us and join the Resistance?
Well, there's so much going on in the world. I don't see why I can't try to get something sanctioned by the Cobalt Soul, but if only I had the kind of magic that I could have a simulacrum, they'd never know I was gone.
Yeah, it's a fun thought. Bit beyond my skills. But
I hate to admit it, but mine too.
But no, I don't see any reason they can't, like, send you on an extended work assignment to see about things you can find out in Teldore.
Well, if you're willing to have me, I will certainly try.
Of course we're willing to have you. You may not remember us very well, but I think to us you're still Demi. You're still our Demi. A little different, but still Demi.
I would agree that so far you certainly seem to be made of the same stuff.
I mean, yeah, that physiologically accurate.
I was more referring to the psychological element, but that too.
Well, I'm a human, and it seems like your Demi turned into a hag if she made a deal. So maybe not the exact same stuff.
Not full hag, but I think she was heading in that direction.
I mean, because you all know that's what happens when you make a deal with a hag, right? You turn into one.
I don't think I did know that.
Yes, I don't believe I was
Aw.
aware either. I'm really glad that I rejected her so thoroughly at this point. The
A little
hag.
harsh,
Shouldn't have been.
Veridian.
Harsh to a hag?
Oh, I thought you meant rejected Demi so thoroughly. I was
No,
like,
I specified already
bro,
the hag, I mean. I said that
you
immediately
fucking
after.
wish.
The hag. Hello. No.
Yeah. Good fuck,
It's like,
man.
oh, I'm glad I rejected her.
Damn,
No.
damn, dude.
I
Holy
literally,
shit.
right after saying that in character, specified the hag, I mean. I
Yeah,
said that.
I know.
Yeah.
But it was so
No,
it was
that's-
so sudden we laughed
Yeah.
over it and didn't hear it. Hey.
So I will go to my superiors and write a lengthy story. Actually, Yeah, let's just do it the up and up way, because I could just try to be sneaky and forge something, but let's just go and try to be like on the up and up and actually ask and explain to them the situation, and we can talk about it later, but I'll ask for some sort of mission to go along with these people.
Okay.
Draft a research proposal.
Momentary thing I just wanted to know. I'm surprised that neither of those two reacted or like questioned the fact that they already had mentioned rejecting an offer of a deal from the hag.
Yeah.
I thought one of y'all was definitely gonna pounce on that.
That's true. I guess I don't remember, do I?
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
And Demi was wondering about what kind of deal or what the hag got out of things, so I thought that
Yeah.
might have been thought either of you might have jumped on that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mhm.
Well, too bad it was just
They're
Demi
gonna
and
think better
Cyrus
of it.
having that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And I think Cyrus would like he doesn't know that we were all offered deals.
No.
Right.
So yeah, I don't remember anything.
Yeah. You're writing this letter in the room that you guys stayed in last night. And there's a gentle knock on the door.
Are you
Yeah.
expecting anyone?
Oh, they'll open it. The knock is just a warning. You see
Finnick
a
stands at the ready.
human about 50-ish, like dark tanned skin, soft, bright, kind of green eyes, wearing the standard blue and gray robes. But you would know this person as the curator here, Kusuo.
What do I owe the pleasure this evening?
A couple of librarians overheard conversations yesterday. And with you missing work, I've kind of put two and two together. I imagine you want to get to the bottom of what happened.
I would greatly much appreciate that.
Then please go and do so. But try to return in one piece.
Well, you've trained me well. All of you.
And to answer the question you were asking of my librarians last night, the person who made the note in that book. You guys remember, you had that conversation in private.
Mm-hmm.
There are eyes and ears everywhere.
Makes sense.
To answer your question, that note was not made by an inquisitor of the Cobalt Soul. It was made by a scale bearer who was researching for the High Bearer Vord.
All of these titles, I'm not sure I recall what a scale bearer or a high bearer are.
The scale bearers are the paladins of Bahamut that practice at the Platinum Sanctuary. They go out into the world and perform great deeds. This one came back to Vasselheim after a large absence. And the High Bearer is the main member of the council here, runs the city.
Do you have a name of the scale bearer who made that note?
I do not. I was not here when they made it. I don't know many who were.
Do you have records of scale bearers who have visited these halls?
We have a policy that the scale bearers or the high bearers requests to not do so, as their business and their work is their own.
Understandable. Perhaps our friend who follows Bahamut might be able to help put two and two together when we meet again later.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to know what this scale bearer and these high bearers seem to know.
I know they made several notes about different things and what had happened concerning Thordak and Amon when they were here as well.
Concerning Thordak and Iman, and it seemed to involve Jaman Saord
Yes.
and all kinds of other people. Our friend Mr. Gilmore and Lady Kima, Valora Vysoren.
We lost a lot of people.
Not all of them were lost.
That is hopefully true.
I mean, a bit of free information, just in the interest of spreading some goodwill. We just saw Sean Gilmore a couple days ago.
Nerdian like narrows his eyes at Cyrus, like, you dumb motherfucker. We're not supposed to talk about that.
We at the
As a
Kobold-
gesture of goodwill, of course. We want your trust.
We had long suspected that not everyone in the Second Battle of Amon fell. It would be, pardon the potential negativity of my voice, it would have been too convenient if everyone had just been killed for Thordak. It would be impossible to get to. But I know the scale bearer that came through and looked at this research and made these notes was going to attempt to get to Craghammer.
Craghammer, huh?
Yes.
And that's where you think the scale bearer is? Or
That's where I think they were headed. Based off what they've told a couple of our librarians, yes.
well, I appreciate you being so forthcoming.
Anyways, I just came to say what I knew.
Understood and appreciated.
And I imagine that what we know is gonna kind of become what you know. I gather that's a bit of an occupational hazard of traveling with a member of the Cobalt Soul.
Demi just smirked.
They're gonna make an insight check against the party. Oh hell.
What
yeah.
are we rolling?
Nothing.
Okay.
He's trying to read everybody in the room, as it's the first time he's met a bunch of you all.
And I think a in game and above game, I'm kind of figuring that any information that we know, however secret we might think it is,
Yeah.
the Cobalt Soul is about to know that information anyway, because we're traveling with Demi now.
Yeah.
So, like, might as well try to,
Yeah. Above game, I understand, like, not actually.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
above game
But
totally.
like, Verity like in
Yeah,
character
yeah.
is just like, dude, we were supposed to keep that a secret.
Yeah. I will say I would consider our hands good for information. We can get it to the right people. Make
You certainly,
use
your
it.
organization certainly has a reputation for discretion.
It's when information falls into the wrong hands that things become a problem. I wouldn't be worried about Demi in that regard.
I suppose it's on the rest of us to prove ourselves
But you do
worthy of.
travel in mixed company, so to
Well,
speak.
I suppose it's on the rest of us to prove ourselves worthy of being considered the right hands.
Certainly.
I appreciate your permission to follow out these answers.
Okay. We'd appreciate you coming back in one piece. And the occasional handoff of information as it relates to the resistance and helping us end this war.
Well, I always have a sending prepared.
Perfect. And you all can head out into the streets of Vasselheim.
Once we're out to the streets and kind of like looking around, thinking about what to do next, Verdian will turn to Demi and just say, recalling what you were so curious about yesterday, I think it would be a good time to investigate that. See if we
Sorry.
can learn a bit at the cathedral.
Yeah.
Before we leave,
Yes.
when Demi says that she always has a sending prepared, would I know of the existence of sending stones?
Yeah.
And could I, in an in-game way, ask about that? Like, do they have a couple? You keep one, Demi keeps one, and then she doesn't need to use the spell slot every day
Oh.
in whatever, in-game way that makes sense. Is that something that seems like a handy thing to have if we are
I think
blowing through
so.
third level spell slots in combat or
I
whatever?
think the problem is in Vasselheim. Enchanted items like that aren't like if you were asking the Cobalt Soul and Rexentrum, they probably have a
Sure.
cache of them. In Vasselheim, they're a little hard to come by.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. I also thought
Well,
of that, but then I was like, oh,
wanted to
right.
make sure we covered
Yeah.
that base.
Yeah.
So we don't.
And in a couple levels,
Sure.
it'll be a little easier.
Like, I think of it like Rexentrum. Rexentrum is like they're more free with their magic items, and a Vasselheim they like want to confiscate every magic.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
Very smart, Cyrus.
So Verdian would like to explore Raven's Crest. Does anybody
Very
else have anything on their agenda?
Finnick would like to maybe find someone to train him
Okay.
in like probably hand to hand. or
Okay.
above game, would the Titanstone knuckles prevent his claws?
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Finnick would just want to maybe find someone that could maybe teach him a little hand to hand.
I would like to find someone to, teach me to make bullets.
Okay.
I would like to, if I can, meet up with Cade. I want to talk to someone at um the Temple of Bahamut and get a name of the scale bearer that's heading to Craghammer,
Okay.
just to have a name.
Okay.
I think it's given Demi is with Veridian trying to get in there.
Cool. So we will say, Finnick, you're gonna go to the Crucible because you've seen it twice now.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Go there and
Sorry.
maybe.
Or sorry, the Trial Forge with the.
Real quick before we start with this, where are Demi and Verdian heading?
Raven's Crest,
Which is what?
the Cathedral of the Raven Queen.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Before we all part ways, I'll hand Demi the elixir of transformation and say, just in case.
She'll just smile and give you a knowing nod.
Sorry. Continue.
We'll say Cragthor is gonna track down the Victor lead, who is a known associate in Vasselheim.
Do some digging.
And do some digging. We'll start at Raven's Crest. As you all approach, the ravens kind of fly off. As you walk past the marked graves outside of it and enter into the stone building, or rather attempt to enter the stone building. As you all approach, you see 3 of the matron's flock standing outside with their robes up. You can't see their faces, but you can tell they're staring at you. But you can tell they're staring at you. As you all walk up, one of them extends a hand out to you, Verdian, and motions you to come inside. And kind of turns their hand after motioning, almost ushering you and telling you to lead them into this temple.
May my companion join us? As he gestures to Demi.
All of them shake their heads.
Will you explain why not at some point? Do not ask for an explanation now. He gives Demi an apologetic look and kind of shrugs. He's like, given the nature of the different magics I use, I don't want to risk offending anybody in this place. I'm terribly sorry. I don't think I can press the issue any further.
It seems I've already offended the matron by choosing the deity that I did.
Well, I'll happily tell you whatever I learn later. I imagine that having another clever mind to discuss it with will help process whatever it ends up being. And then
Okay.
he'll, yeah, with that he just gives a nod and turns to head into the building.
As you enter, it is extremely low light. The interior, like the outside, is carved in obsidian, trimmed with golds and silvers, marked with sigils and symbols of the Raven Queen. The mask, the claw, the feather. You walk down this hallway and it opens up into the central chamber. A huge, tall staircase layout before you. They motion for you to continue up the stairs.
We'll do as they're directing still for now. No reason not to.
Arrive at the top of the stairs, there is a 80, 90 foot tall dome roof in this building. Stained glass. Of an event you don't quite recognize yet. And in the center of the chamber is a pool. And you recognize the redness of this. It is not water, but it is blood. The same blood you fell into in your vision last night.
He turns to those who showed him the way in and like kind of looks back and forth across the handful of them there and gestures towards the pool and says, I feel I've seen this before, despite never stepping foot here previously.
One of them will just turn their head kind of sideways. Then enter and let go.
Let go of what? There are few things I have in this life. I've let go of everything I knew once before. I'm not eager to do so again.
She would not have called you here if you weren't ready.
Are you aware I'm pulled in multiple directions?
She wouldn't have called you here if you weren't ready.
He steels himself a deep breath and does as instructed.
You enter the pool and fully submerge yourself?
Yep.
Okay. I think the most important question is, do you hold your breath or do you inhale?
Initially, at the very least, he would hold his breath while judging what's happening. You know,
It's a pool of cold blood. It's disgusting.
If nothing happens initially, he's like, well, there's something supposed to happen, so I may as well try something different. And he'll like very hesitantly open his mouth.
And as you do, blood comes flooding in, drowning you in an instant. And you are fully in control of yourself and aware, but in the same place you were last night.
In that void again.
In the void again. And then the giant mask, this time with the body behind it, huge, massive, like you would expect a god to be in this space. Those do not escape my realm easily. And yet you did. That makes you strong. Strong enough, we'll have to see.
So you are not angered by this outcome?
I am angered by many outcomes I did not see. This is not one of them.
That is a great relief to hear, if nothing else. Thank you. And he bows his head slightly.
I have a quest for you. A mission, an ideal of what I need you to do to serve the matron.
So long as it will not harm the innocent people that we are striving to protect from the tyranny in this land, I see no reason to refuse it.
I have not held many champions in my time. Just two. And one in your time on Taldore.
I do believe I know of whom you speak.
They returned to me. Yet I seek to know more. They are here, but not fully, and I need to know why.
Some part of them did not return to you?
Correct.
That is most concerning. If investigating this is what you wish, I would happily take up this quest.
Thank you.
Might I ask a question of you while I'm here?
I may or may not answer, but
I assume you do know of the other deity that I have some tie to.
yes.
I saw in the library they believe that their followers are all gone, long gone. Do you know if this is true?
The domains of other gods are beyond my sight. I control the threads of fate and who goes where. I have not cut the string of anyone of this deity in a while. That is relative to me, not maybe to your time, your years.
I would rather not see the end to the worship of any deity that has had any part in aiding me, in saving me from the gruesome fate. That is why I asked.
That is one thing we all share. Even the gods.
An end.
Yes.
While true, it does not mean that it need come in a hurry. Thank you.
And she'll cut your thread and you will fall back through the pool of blood and shoot up, taking a deep breath coming out of it. They will pull you out of the blood. Their rags do not get much blood out, but at least it's something to warm you up. You're still mostly drenched.
I'll ask Cyrus to prestidigitate me clean later. After having heard him mention it before, it's like, why not?
As you walk, they don't follow you out. As you walk down the stairs and turn the corner to head out down the pathway that had candlelight and was well kept and clean, candles are blown out and there are cobwebs everywhere as you exit the temple.
Kind of looks around and takes that in for a moment, mutters, fascinating.
Probably after about 30 minutes, you'll see Verdian come out of the temple, Demi covered in blood.
It looks like you were productive.
Nothing of the sort I'm sure you're imagining. I had an unexpected audience with the Raven Queen.
Did she tell you?
Several things. One, a mission for me that I accepted. The other, an answer to a personal question. You recall in the library when I was looking into the deity that helped to save me? I suppose you might not know that whole story. I may have to tell it again sometime soon, but regardless, I was looking into a much lesser deity, and the library's books seem to indicate that, well, that all their worshippers were gone, that there was no further practice of their faith. And that troubled me. I thought, if I'm accepting a quest, and I have this audience going on, I may as well ask if she who cuts those threads of fate may be able to tell me if that is true, if they are all gone. It seems either that is the case, or somehow all of that deity's worshippers found a means of immortality at some point. I imagine the former is more likely. As for the quest, I would wait until we're back with the group to discuss that. I think the whole group ought to know of it.
Well, what I've learned in my time here, and in giving you my opinion, there is no greater than the matron for all she has accomplished and all she can do. Yet, sometimes we can pull from different deities call upon them for different needs. If it is true that your deity has lost worship, then maybe they just need someone to invoke their name in this realm again for them to come to power. For if one has worshippers and their name is praised, then they shall become to power.
And I have called upon them and drawn upon the power that they've given me. And it doesn't seem to have waned from what I recalled it should be, nor has it strengthened in any way. So I suppose you could say I've taken on two quests, a personal quest to do as you've mentioned, as well as the one on behalf of the Raven Queen.
Just
So
because a
productive.
power doesn't grow. Yes, very. But just because a power doesn't grow, at least on a level that you feel it should, or you're feeling it inside of you, doesn't mean it's not. And if the matron extended a hand, or a thread of fate, if you will, to allow you to go on a quest for her, then obviously she sees some merit in your other deity as well.
It is hard to judge precise tone the way that she bestowed knowledge, but I believe I got that impression as well. Or at the very least, she sees merit in my will to do something.
I try not to lust after or envy others, for that gets us nowhere, right? But I can't say that I have a twinge of jealousy that you got to meet her.
Well, who knows if this quest leads down the sort of path I suspect it might. There's a chance that all involved may get to have some sort of audience with it. I wouldn't give up hope of the possibility, at least.
Do you know her story? What she accomplished?
Honestly, before I fell into the Shadowfell, I was never the most devoutly religious person in general. Much of what I know has been learned since then, and gleaned from the feeling and experience from there.
Well, like you said, we should get back to the group. But one day remind me to tell you about Ascension.
I shall.
Okay. On the other side of town, in the other district of town in the Braving Grounds, in a small back alley, there's a sign that says Black Powder, just hanging, pointing to a back alley, and there is a tiny shack attached to another building, burn marks on the windowsill as Cragthor approaches it. This looks to be the spot you saw described in the book the previous evening of one Victor.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna go up to that and walk in.
Okay. You see behind the counter, mixing various piles of ground up sulfur charcoal and saltpeter, this 70-year-old man, hair frayed out, burnt tips, just soot all over him. As you see him working, he has like a claw on one hand because he doesn't have any, like a tool on his hand, because he doesn't have any fingers on it because he's blown them all off. About 3 fingers and a thumb on the other hand. Just kind of looks up with his kind of cock glass and just kind of go, "Yes, how can I help you?"
I'm gonna pull out my pepper box and just show it to him.
I've seen one of those in 2 years now.
Yeah, I kind of need to make some bullets for it. Kind of need to be able to keep firing it. And I don't know how. I don't know how at all.
Well, you see, what you do is you take this stuff and he holds up like black powder and gets it dangerously close to a candle before he realizes what he's doing and pull it away. And you start to realize why he doesn't have fingers on one hand.
You just see Crackdoor going, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, sorry. Two individuals came in and used to buy all my black powder from here. I haven't seen them in 2 years now.
Well, just show me how to make something that'll fire out of it without blowing things up. Can we do that? No blowing up.
I could certainly show you their measurements, but I've never made it myself. I've been here this whole time.
Sam Reich?
Thank you for getting the reference.
I didn't want to say it, but that's what I was thinking.
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, so you don't know how to make a bullet? You just...
I know the measurements they used for things they told me when they would buy stuff.
But you never made them.
No. Do I look like I could make them? And he holds up his fingers.
Or rather, lack thereof.
Or lack thereof.
Alright. Why don't you put just give me the ingredients and let me try to make them while you stand here at least. Maybe I can do it.
How much black powder would you like to purchase?
How much do you have? And what's it cost?
He kind of motions around. You're surrounded by about 30 barrels, like 50-gallon barrels, all full of black powder right now.
Okay. So what's it cost? That's the real deal.
One of the barrels is 4,000 gold.
Yeah, see, I don't have that much gold. I really don't have that much. I mean, like...
He reaches underneath the thing, and you can hear, like, as, like, he's pouring stuff from one to another, and pulls out, like, a quarter keg of, like, one of those barrels. I could sell you this for 200 gold.
Yeah, I could do that, but how about I make you some bullets, too? Or some, the things that come out of it, a gun, and you just sell those, and you give me a deal. Because you can't make them.
No one can make the guns either.
What if I knew someone who could? I can introduce you to. He made this one.
I'm not sure if the Justicar would like me doing that.
I mean, but I'll still take what you're giving me, but like, just try to sweeten it up a little.
By the way, above game, that is enough to make 2,000 bullets.
How much black powder?
It's a quarter keg. I will add it to your inventory.
So you're set on powder forever, probably.
All right. Can I get the measurements and leave? Because, like, Crackdoor is visibly disturbed with the fact that he is over here, like, holding gunpowder up to a candle, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's about 200 gold is about 20 pounds worth of gunpowder.
I appreciate you. Now I do need to know what the measurements are.
Oh, yeah, and he'll get out a scale and he'll measure it and show you how much gunpowder Percy told him he put in each bullet when he would buy stuff and kind of talk him through it. What little he was told by Percy and Anna, he will walk you through probably over the next 5 minutes. Yeah, that's all I really know that they told me. They mostly just bought stuff and got out.
That's okay. I mean, come here. Does he have, like, the rest of the stuff to make bullets or not? Would he have, like, the shell casing or anything?
No, but he would know where to buy it in the city. He would know where to buy, like, the lead and things. As there are multiple mining operations outside Vasselheim that sell their stuff in town.
So, and this where Crackdoor's like, come here. I have hands. I can make them, but do you have the lead? Do you have the other stuff? I mean,
I'll
said
tell
these
you where to
things.
buy stuff.
I mean, I kind of need them. I need a lot of these things.
Yeah, you can go and he'll tell you where to go in the merchant district and go down to, the quad roads and where to buy things and everything you need. I don't know if I should sell it. Might be too dangerous for me.
That's okay. I can still make them for me.
You can.
So, that's stuff.
All right, pleasure doing business with you. Come back whenever you need more.
Thanks.
Bye.
Gonna run out of the store at that point, like
as you're re-entering the street, you just hear like a and you see a little smoke come out the window.
a good idea. That's all I'm thinking at that.
And last but not least, at the trial forge. The dark red rusted iron of the steps leading up into a familiar arena and bastion. You've never seen the barracks and stuff here in your visions, just the arena. You can smell sage and burning herbs. Because you've never been here, you've never experienced it. To have it in your visions, you can smell it to keep away evil spirits, and conducive for fighting, practicing martial arts, drilling. Several monks and things training around here, all wearing similar arm wraps to Earthbreaker Groons that you remember. They kind of all stop and stare when you walk in.
Phoenix looking around, nodding his head. Just like the dream. Doesn't smell the same though.
Can I ask what it? I know I'm not there. I'm sorry, but I want to know what Finnick's dream smells.
I was gonna say he didn't have a smell to associate with this place. So he probably would have just smelled nothing in the room.
Yeah.
One of them will kind of approach. Sorry, our the leader of this temple is currently away.
Huh. Who was the leader?
Oh, Earthbreaker Rune.
Oh. I've met him.
You were in Port Damali?
Yes. And met him, talked to him other places.
Well, you've talked to him more recently than we have. If you're seeking training here, he really should be the one you talk to.
No one else could train me to beat
Not-
him.
Well, good luck with
And-
that.
Finnick will just sly grin. I kid, of course.
I don't know if the last wielder of those gauntlets ever beat Rune. He's a strong individual. If we hear from him on what is your name?
Finnick. Finnick Shadow.
If we hear from him about you, we'd be more than willing to take you in and train you, but this is his temple, his place, and we dare not take. I assume you came here for training.
I would like to get some training.
We can take you in on his order.
Okay. Now I gotta figure out a way to contact him.
You see,
Mutters
like,
as he
you see, like
walks away.
one of the monks in the background. There's like a tree log, probably about like this big around, just kicks it in half.
Yes, need to train.
All right. You can stay and watch if you want to.
He probably would.
You can watch them. You can watch their sparring matches and things.
He's gonna take mental notes.
Okay.
Are they using weapons or hand to hand?
Fists. One of them has a bow staff, but most of them are using fists and legs.
He's gonna focus on the hand to hand. And he might mimic them. Or
Okay.
attempt.
Okay. Make a acrobatics check.
18.
Okay. You mimic them pretty well for your first time. Could you use it in combat? Probably not, but you're able to.
Yeah.
You're flowing with them, almost like you're doing Tai Chi and they're doing martial arts in this moment. But you have the movements down.
After a few hours, Finnick would probably end up heading back to find the others.
Okay.
Probably longer than he probably should have waited.
Well, put a pin on how long you were there.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that. Cyrus. It is a long trek to the roots of the Heaven Stair, in which the Platinum Sanctuary is part of. It is the very top of what you can build on in Vasselheim. You have to go through the quad roads and into Silver Talon's Reach and up the mountain to get to the Platinum Sanctuary. When you get to Silver Talon's Reach and you're looking at the path and the stairs up to the Platinum Sanctuary, you see a familiar half-orc coming down the stairs, like relieved to see you in Cade. Just kind of looks at you, kind of a little out of breath. Hi.
Hey, you look like you've been busy.
Yes. We've been talking. They want me to undergo the trials of Bahamut, but I need, like, your guys' help to do that. So,
What are the
everybody?
Oh, we all had some different stuff we wanted to get done today, but we'll all meet back up.
All right, let's meet back up.
Well, there's one thing I wanted to try to find out while I'm here, if that's okay.
No, I'm sure they can tell you.
Yeah, I just had a quick question about something that, well, I think some of the folks here might be able to answer.
If like I pass them, you know, Scalebearer Jan would probably give me access to whatever you need.
I'm looking for the name of a scale bearer. An individual who they have sent to Craghammer.
Okay.
Is Cade walking back in with me real quick?
Yeah, he's gonna go try and find everybody.
Anyway, I'll be right out. But...
Yeah. Because he is on a mission.
Okay. So yeah, no, if I get in there, is there somebody to ask?
Yeah, there are a few scale bearers right inside the door.
Hi, I was hoping you could help me with some information.
Oh, hi. Hi, yeah. What's
Hi, my name's Cyrus. I'm a friend of Cade, who just left. I was hoping to get the name of a particular scale bearer. A fella or lady, an individual that has been sent to Craghammer and I think is en route to Craghammer as we speak.
That information would only be for other scale bearers or members of the Council of Vasselheim.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. You don't know me.
Yes, correct.
I'm a father, and this concerns the safety of my daughter. Now I know you're men of God. And I know that it's probably like private or privileged information that's somewhat sensitive.
Yeah.
But I need that information.
Okay. Are you a scale bearer?
I am not, sir.
Okay.
Is there someone else I might speak to? Please.
Make a persuasion check.
I guess I do not have the opportunity to give myself guidance here, I would imagine.
Correct.
Or, yeah, because that's arcane magic anyway, because I get that from Artificer.
Yeah, I was about to say if you
That
got
would
it
be very
from
unwise.
cleric or
That would be a
druid,
bad
it
idea.
it would be a different story.
Alright, alright. I'm gonna use a point of inspiration.
Damn.
First roll was a natural 3. Second roll was a natural 4. I have a +7.
We're currently getting ready to have a member go through the trials, so we're a little busy here. I could get your information down on like a scrap of paper and take it to Scalebearer Jan for review of the information to see if he will review it and give out the information. That is he's kind of like the keeper of the information in the archives here. But that'd be about all I could do.
Well, it's funny you mention that. The fella who's gonna take those trials.
Yeah.
It's a good friend of mine, Cade. And I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna help him with some of the rest of our group.
Okay.
Could you and me agree that if he succeeds and passes the trials,
He could
You
get
give
that
me the
information
informa-
for you. Because he would be a
Oh,
scale
he'll-
bearer.
oh, that's to become a scale
Yeah.
bearer. Okay.
I
We're on the same
I
page.
said that. I said you had to be a scale bearer and he was undergoing the trials.
Oh, I know. I didn't realize
You
the
didn't
trials
realize
were
it was a trial
to become a scale bearer. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So if he succeeds, I'll get what I need.
Make an insight check here.
I have a -1.
This is gonna be great.
All right, that's a natural 6 for a 5.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So what Cyrus doesn't want to see, but I want, like, everybody else to know is going on, he is, like, looking around Cyrus to see if anybody else is in this room to get into this conversation right now. Yeah, that's exactly what I don't know what you thought that the trials...
Well, I don't know. They're scale bearer, high bearer, pall bearer. Like, there are all kinds of different titles and levels. I don't know what the trials are for. For any particular... Man, Go
We
easy
need that
an
on a
old man.
t-shirt, one of those like scale bearer and high bearer and pulp.
I might put that on a
Ring
t-shirt.
bearer?
Ring bear.
Ring bearer. No, I don't know what all titles. Everything goes to, like, this whole bureaucracy you've assembled for yourself. I'm real glad it makes sense to you, but don't expect anybody else to have any idea what you're talking about.
He's just looking around like it's really easy. 3 levels.
Old man yells at Cloud.
Kind of.
Yeah, no, it's very much it's very like the visual I'm getting is very much it's like it's like the security station at the Pentagon or something like that. And there's like a dad in a polo shirt tucked into jeans with New Balances, and he's got a fanny pack, and he's like, "Look, can you and I just agree that I can get in?"
Yeah, no.
It's like, no, dude. But Cyrus is pretty oblivious, and he's trying.
Yeah.
I think of it like when you're like in France and you're trying to speak French to people in France and they just have no care and like they're like, yeah, come back if you're French.
Yeah, excusez-moi, s'il vous plaît.
Come back when you're.
Only French I know. Thank you, Moulin Rouge. Anyways, I think on that description, Cade will round the
yeah,
rest
I'm
of
just
you guys
gonna
up.
run back out to catch Cade. Couldn't get the information I needed, but good news is if you succeed tomorrow, you'll be able to get that information for me. Oh, win-win, I
Today.
suppose.
Today.
Oh, it's
but
today?
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
jeez.
Now-ish.
Gotcha.
And I think that's where we'll end.
Oh boy.
Poor Cade. I'm gonna walk into that shit show.
It was a shit show, obviously. Alright, we're gonna raid one of our WoW friends since Season 1 is starting tomorrow. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Let me drop our links one more time. Did I actually make this one, or am I just imagining things? I am just imagining things. I didn't actually make that today. I will see all of you Wednesday for whatever fuckery awaits that group.
Oh, we're gonna have some fun on Wednesday, okay?
I mean, we basically ended session right as we were rolling initiative.
Yes.
Yeah. Right into a fight. Let's go.
So we know what we're doing for the first half of session at least.
We're gonna kill something.
Do you? Anyway, hopefully that was ominous enough. Anyway, we'll see you guys Wednesday. We'll be back next Monday to pick up on this. And Trials of the Scale Bearers should be a blast. We're gonna go raid Miss Trashes. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.